Welcome to Geeky Discoveries, new network, new streaming service. Well, okay, we went back to the oldish streaming service because Be Live wasn't very good, and it wasn't very user friendly. So back to the duck. Yeah. So we're here. We're angry and we got lots to say. So let me bring up the woman who I've been wanting to make my co-host, but trying to figure out our schedules.
I know. I moved in a slightly echoey place, so if we echo, just let me know. Am I echoing right now?
Your volume was just a little bit tad low, but I think we're okay.
Okay. Right. I'm trying to get close to the mic.
There we go. Yes.
Hello to everyone, and hello to you, Willow. I have a one-eyed fox keeping an eye on things tonight. And you have a guest.
I do. Last minute. Brian. Everybody should know Brian K. Morrison. I think I'm going to change the way this all looks on here because it's kind of coming up. There we go.
There we go. Speaking of broadcasters who can't keep a schedule for Willow, yeah. we're all present saying our name. Everybody, hi, Brian.
No, I'm sorry to do this like last minute. I've been thinking about doing a show, but then it's like, okay, when is everybody free? But yeah, so Brian and I have been trying to do a show on his network.
What about?
Just random topics. So
yeah, pretty much whatever annoys us that day. So not unlike this. But everybody's been very patient with me. But we're I finally gave him trying to schedule anything for the time being. So,
but and then of course he goes and tells me that he's got to go in for surgery for his heart. I'm just like, okay, so this is probably a really bad idea to have him on the show.
Yeah, and I will say this is the first. For a lot of these people, it's probably the first time they've heard this. So, I am having an aortic heart valve replaced. Now, I will say that my doctor has given me very long odds on this. So, your prayers and your thoughts would be appreciated. I only have a 99% chance of success on this, but I am looking for a surgeon that can cut those odds down a little. So the search proceeds. So
yeah, we will raise money for that surgery if we need to. Keep Brian alive.
That's right, my God, we need a whipping boy here. By God, he's got the experience. No, it was kind of funny because it's been quite a journey going through this preparation, and one included a dentist because because there's a lot of oral infections that can get into your blood and everything. So I had to have some long overdue dental work done, and they were talking about that little strip of tissue like at the base of your tongue. Mm-hmm. Now, when I was still an infant, I had trouble speaking, so my doctor clipped that a little. And my father always said that they cut too much. And one of the things that's on the work list of things to get done inside my face is maybe we need to cut that a little more. And I'm like, I got dozens of people to tell you that's the biggest mistake you will ever make in your life. It's borderline malpractice. So no, we don't want Brian with a more glib and useful tongue. So.
That is new to me. My child bit her tongue in half.
Ooh,
when she was 3 years old.
Wow.
And I got to see the nurses and the doctors hold her down. You want to talk a little bit about rage? I want to talk about mom's rage. If there's any moms watching right now, if you understand what it's like for someone to bait you, whether it's real or as in like holding your child down physically or in a bullying situation in school or something, as a woman who heard the stories about lifting the cars off of children, you had somebody had to hold me back. The nurses were doing their job.
Mhm.
The nurses were doing their job, but they were making my baby bleed in front of me, sewing her tongue together, and they couldn't give her enough medicine to hold her drowsy enough. She's
Yeah.
just flailing.
Oh yeah.
She's flailing and bleeding at the same time and screaming. And I'm like, of course I'm going to jump up and try to save my child, right?
Yeah.
I know in my head they're doing their job, but it looks crazy, like something out of a nightmare. Like you couldn't sedate her a little bit more. She's just screaming and fighting. Her arms and legs are moving. So yeah, going back to the frightening parts of surgery is like, some people get scared with the idea of having it. You have to go into it for your heart. 99% can feel a little low when you get those numbers back.
Yeah.
You're like,
Well,
what can,
Yeah. Actually, mine is going to be a very minimally invasive procedure. Actually,
Oh, good.
they're going to go in through my arteries and stuff and drop in a mechanical heart valve, which means I'm going to be a cyborg when this is done.
Yay!
You won't hear the end of it, people.
I'm only a little excited for you. I'm so frightened for the takeover when it happens.
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah. It'll be glorious in its destructive capabilities. Yes.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. He can now run at 2 miles an hour. No.
Ooh. I
Just as
want
long
some
as you
magic
play that
legs.
noise every time you do run.
Yeah, and every time I like reach for something, I'll be hearing. Oh, but that'll be my new phone. My ringtone on my phone. Brian, would you get me a can of flour? Sure. Pray for my wife.
But yeah, no, speaking of rage, we're getting lots of comments on our, not really a good segue, but I apologize. I can't segue for the life of me. Carl Witzman, hello. Greetings, everyone.
Hey, Carl.
Donna Carlene, hello. Hey, all. Don't forget to like and share, folks. Thank you very much, Donna. I appreciate that. Hey, Willow. Hey, C. Everybody says hi to everyone. Hi, it's PM. And you can't escape that easily, Brian.
You're not the first person that's told me that. I'm on the board of directors of this one book group, and I told them the first thing they have to do is replace me. That's their number one job in this world. And I said, what does it take to get off of this board? And they said death. And I'm like, I may have an ad coming up here.
Like, don't promise anything you can't hold to.
That's right, my God. They set the parameters. Who might have questioned it, right?
But yeah, Bionic BKM.
You're right.
But yeah, no, like I know it's frustrating down there for the medical shit that you guys have to deal with. Yeah, and it's just as frustrating up here in Canada. Like, despite what you guys believe, our taxes do pay for our medical stuff, but unfortunately, whoever's in charge of our provinces are the ones who control what happens with our medical. Manitoba, the province that I live in, our medical system sucks so bad. Like the waiting times, I've gone to the hospital just to treat a burn on my arm. I waited for 16 hours.
Ooh.
16 to 18 hours.
Oh man.
Wow.
And I just wanted them to, look at it, make sure that I didn't do any real damage to my arm. Like I burnt myself making coffee. And my husband told me that I need it when he saw it. He's all go to the hospital and get a tetanus shot. And this was like 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago. And so yeah, I'm like, no, just treat it. Just put some burn cream or whatever. Treat it clean it up and it'll be fine, right? 16 to 18 hours, and most of that is like half of that is waiting in the waiting room, waiting for a room, and then the other half is waiting for the doctor to show up.
Yeah.
And so nurse came in one morning at like 3 a.m. and she goes and takes my she monitors my heart rate, and I'm just like, well, now it's normal because I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I normally have low blood pressure, and
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I see Carl says he's heard similar stories from the UK. Yeah, I have too, and also like the Northern European nations have like this kind of nationalized healthcare, and all of them all of them suck to one degree or another. I don't know if there is a perfect form of.
I understand the emergencies get taken care of first.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but nurses, unfortunately, it seems like the nurses do most of the work than the doctors do, and I feel bad for them, because then what's the point of having the doctors? Why not give why not give the nurses full capabilities to treat people?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, always make nice with the nurse practitioners.
Oh yeah, the family nurse practitioners. I mean, they are basically doctors.
Yeah,
in many, many, many ways.
That's true.
I don't know. Because it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to wait like 18 hours to see the doctor if a nurse can treat you and or triage you or whatever needs to be done, whatever decisions need to be done. And we have even family doctors. Like, family doctors are few and far between in my city, and it can be months before you see a family doctor. Hence the reason why a lot of people end up going to walk-in clinics or even the hospital for menial things.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of urgent care areas, but we've closed down ERs in my city.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. Because they're like, oh, we're gonna try to make things easier and centralize everything. But meanwhile, we have places in my city that are like small towns. Like we've amalgamated little towns into one big city. We call it Unicity back in the 70s. But these little towns, they still relied on their hospitals. So now they're driving miles to come to the downtown area. And it's just, yeah, it's so stupid the way our government did that.
Agreed.
Carl says, although you could wait here in our town for 4 hours if you don't come in an ambulance. 4 hours would be like a nice day at the hospital. Donna says it takes less time to go there and get treated than to drive 3 minutes and have to wait here. Yeah, I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, I actually went to the doctor. I had split open. I got a scar here right above my eyebrow where I had a concussion. I told you guys about it on my back of the cereal box when it happened. And so I had bloody gash here. Well, they gave me ibuprofen, which I have at home. Okay, extra strength, which I did keep from the last time, not expired. So I had it at home, and they glued my skin together, which I also have here as a first aid. So, and then they charged me $3,000 after being in the hospital for almost. Here's the thing: the wait time. Your wait time. I had like 2 people in front of me, and then they let me in. I would say I was total there maybe 4 hours, but $3,000 later. Ibuprofen and glue, and they send me home. They're like, we'd like to do scans. We'd like to do this. I'm like, I know I have a concussion. You know, you told me there's signs of a concussion. You're going to do anything for a concussion. You're going to keep me longer. And then you're going to send me home with more money I've paid. So no, thank you. Goodbye. And they went, well, ma'am, if you leave against our advisement, and I'm like, I have 2 on-center nurses. I know exactly what you guys are going to do, and it's okay. You're just going to finalize everything after 3 or 4 more hours of waiting for more nurses that aren't going to come in because they're too busy. And tell me, do you need anything else? Do you feel any worse? And I'll say no, and they'll send me home
Yeah.
with a $4,000 bill.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, and the thing is, for those of you who find yourself in a similar situation, not that I'm planning to do anything like that myself if need be, but YouTube has a number of people that the short version is they get an itemized copy of their bill from the doctors, and then there are sites that many of the medical professionals recognize as, okay, this is what you should be charging. So like for a Q-tip, you know, maybe your medical provider charges you $100 for it, and I say that, you know, you laugh, but I got a hold of my mother's bills, and this is back in 1990, and they actually charged her $100 for a Q-tip. But anyway, you go on, and it has what the prices should be, and then you go and you contact the financial department and say, well, you've got $100 for a Q-tip, but your site here says only $1, and get them to mark it down as you go. And if you got enough room on your credit card, if you say, do I get a discount if I pay it all off today? And if you get it down far enough and then put it on your credit card,
Right.
This is the learning place.
This
people.
is so, like, to me, this is bizarre because we don't have like itemized bills.
You have to request it specially. Yeah.
But however, and I apologize for going right into the politics, but unfortunately,
Didn't take long, did it?
I know, among other things that makes us angry.
Yes.
But unfortunately, when it comes to politics, our conservative government really loves to privatize things, and in Alberta, they have a privatized medical system out there. I don't know what they pay for stuff, but yes, there is still like their free healthcare, but I think a lot of it is, insurance companies taking care of certain things.
Oh yeah.
And they want to do that here in Manitoba, and it's just like, no, because we are the poor part of Canada.
Yeah.
We are Canada's armpit.
they're gonna gouge you for everything they can if they can.
Oh yeah. And you guys want to see more CEOs getting shot?
Not that we condone it.
No.
No, but-
No. But it will make more people angry, and this whole episode, thankfully, is Willow's answer to everybody that is angry. And speaking of angry, remember I was kind of grouchy at myself because I didn't show my shirt last time. I couldn't find it because I was moving, but I got it. So it says when someone attacks one party, member, like you see these, right? This is America, just in case somebody's worried about it. America, right. And we have the trans rights, we have the trans colors, we have the full rainbow, we have all of the nationalities represented. Okay, and then you get down here and it's we all roll for initiative. You see that?
Oh, nice.
We all roll for initiative. All. Do you hear all? Is that ragey enough for you? Okay. Is there somebody angry here that is angry that we have to all work together? Because that's what this shirt is about. But unity enrages people. Yep. It's like, we have to be united. I'm saying to be best buddies. I don't like some of you either. But guess what? That doesn't mean we have to actually fall for the bait and rage at each other. Okay, one of the reasons I'm wearing green lipstick is that girls, especially, I'm gonna bring it up again. Girls pick on other girls, okay, and it goes from little girls to big full on millionaires, I'm not going to mention any names about famous singers or actresses or anybody, but you know, and things as stupid as this. And also because I saw Wicked, and if anybody watches Wicked, there's a lot of hate in that
I
they
haven't
address.
seen the movie yet, but I've seen the play, and it was so good.
Ooh, I want to talk about rage bait. Let's talk about the star, one of the stars of Wicked, and how she's not of a certain nationality.
Okay, I'm sorry. That boggle, that throws me for a loop there, because, like, as someone who loves the theater, and I can't say that someone who is white does a better job at being a witch. That they color green.
Yeah, didn't they find a green actress to do this? I mean, come on.
And then I'm hearing that one of the women who was in a wheelchair got bullied because it's like, oh, you're mocking people with disabilities. She has a disability. That's her freaking wheelchair that they used.
Yeah, I saw a quote several months ago from a British actor, and I wish I could remember who it was, but he was answering this very question about, can a straight man play a gay man and vice versa, etc. He said, if we all played what we are, I can only do roles about an actor.
There you go.
That's gonna be a real short play, kids.
Beautifully said.
Exactly.
I attempted to play a rich person. I'm not rich. Does that mean that I wasn't right for that role?
Yeah, and I've done community theater and some movies, and I've played like grumpy old men. Well, okay, maybe it tracks, but I played straight men, I played gay men, I played I played politicians, just a whole gamut of things. I played a thief, just all kinds of roles, and creativity would be very, very, very limited if we all just talked about what we knew. And being a writer, they always say you write what you know. And of course, I just happen to have a book here where I did some race swapping. Hashtag always promote. Willow knows what I'm doing. Yep.
Always
on Amazon and all available things. But I did that. But the thing is, when you do that, you got to make sure you get it right. You got to make sure you're 100% right. Do your research, do your homework. Don't write about what you think it is. Research it till you can write about what you know it is. So.
Yeah, but you don't have to live it though.
No.
You don't. Now, granted, there are some method actors, and writers that almost embody their characters at times just to get it. And I'm not saying that's not a beautiful form of art. Mm-hmm. It is. But also, we've had painters that lost their minds, and it made them so much more of an artist in many strange ways. However, that is not to say that someone cannot step outside and walk in another moccasins. I mean, that's an old term, but it's a good term, and once you learn those moccasins, then you can speak on it just a little bit, maybe not completely as well as someone else, but that's the illusion of creating fantasy.
Yeah,
exactly. Because we're all professional liars.
We're all professional storytellers.
Exactly, yes. Well, my wife calls me a professional liar, so so there goes my Olympic standing.
You got to be a lawyer then, right? Isn't that how that works?
I watch a lot of legal things on YouTube.
You should play a lawyer. You should play a lawyer. There you go.
I would like to, because I find this is a little diversion. I find watching things about the law endlessly fascinating. For some reason, because it's not like Perry Mason. It's almost like there's a dance, okay? Like an old-time 17th century dance where everybody had to do this particular dance in a certain way, and there's a procedure. And when you understand it, it's to make things move quickly, and also, at least in this country, supposedly, to protect the rights of the people involved on both sides of the issue. Like being self-incriminating, incriminating yourself and things like that. and it's almost like watching an ant farm. It's just endlessly fascinating to me.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I used to like liverwurst and jelly sandwiches when I was 3. So don't take me as any example. So.
Whoa! I thought I was weird. I like you so much more now. I thought I was weird eating my.
We're bonding. We're bonding. You know.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. Yeah. You want weird. You know. Willow hit the jackpot when she brought me on. So.
Well, it's funny because Aubrey, I know you have Kindred in your name for on social media, and so I like meeting people because there is a way to connect with everybody on a kindred spirit kind of way. Yes. And, meeting Brian K. Morris when the pandemic came, he became like everybody's best friend.
Because I was everywhere. You couldn't turn on your computer and I wasn't there. So, yeah. I did my duty. So,
although I feel like Tim Walz has taken your shtick.
I'm glad to abdicate my responsibilities to Governor Walz in this case. He's doing a fine job, I feel, being America's father. So, whereas I was more like America's creepy uncle. So,
a little light on the creepy, right?
Some days more than others, yeah.
Well, know thyself.
But you're more than welcome at any of our houses for Christmas. So.
Oh, you say that now.
I mean, if you bring presents.
I have a presence, if that's anything. So. Hi, welcome to the Rage Show.
We are giggling like maniacs, just like it should be.
Carl, creepy uncle, is Brian trying to take my job?
We're so angry.
The creepy sober uncle, so at least you have an excuse. I don't. So
are we supposed to be sober for this? Oh,
not on my account.
I got whiskey in my cappuccino. What are you talking about?
Oh no! I am
Uncle Ernest in this right now.
Oh no! I've been known to have some ignitable fluids around me. When I've done broadcasting. One of the worst nights I ever had, I think, was one night. I had like a mild adult beverage to get through the night. It's a great analgesic, and I tell people I have bad knees. So anyway, my wife comes in and she had a little bit of vodka. I say little bit, but my glass is about a third full. She fills it to the brim with vodka.
Now, was that 2 fingers or 2 fingers?
More like the Incredible Hulk fingers, So I take the thank you, honey. And suddenly, the fires of hell would go down the back of my throat, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be fun. So,
oh yeah, no, I made
the fun of live broadcasting.
Right, I made a mistake right before the broadcast because I was a little cold and exhausted, and I'm like, you know what, a little bit of whiskey in my cappuccino wouldn't hurt. And then I looked at the bottle after I put a little finger in there, and it was 100 proof, and I went, oh, this is gonna be a fun podcast. I'm gonna get done with the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a lot easier to take when you're intoxicated. So yeah.
Speaking of the cold, it's been snowing here all day. So there's the live view of my street.
Well, is it really? I wish it was. Is it really?
That pretty much is what my street looks like right now.
Oh my goodness.
So
I'm going to be ridiculous right now, even though I'm experiencing the cold and it's like in the 50s here, and I'm bundling up in leather and warm socks and stuff. I still miss the snow like ridiculously. I don't understand. Like, I'm angry at myself for that. You want to talk about internal rage? Okay, why do I miss the thing that makes your limbs fall off? But I do.
My wife is from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. I lived in Newport, Rhode Island one summer when there was a blizzard in June or May.
So Minnesota.
Back in 77. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was, it's like, what was it? I remember I came in on Sunday. It was 70 degrees to Newport, Rhode Island. Then Monday we had the blizzard. Tuesday we had the blackout, like from Boston on down to us. And Wednesday I'm like, can I get a ticket home? We at least wait till the proper time to, like have things go to hell season wise. So
I know Joe's. We're walking around the mall today, and Joe's like, we should really move to the Bahamas or something. I'm just like, it would be nice, yes, but bugs.
Lots of bugs.
yeah.
We complain. We complain about the mosquitoes in our city. I'm sure that they have worse bugs than us.
Well, I've come to the conclusion through my many travels that weather sucks everywhere. You just have to figure out what your poison is. It's like Florida sounds great if it weren't for the hurricanes. And I live in a tornado alley here, and that makes springs exciting. Or you have like 120 degrees, zero humidity weather. Or you have earthquakes or whatever, snow, and it's like, it just Earth is a terrible place to live. You just have to decide what your tolerance limit is. So,
no, I mean, like, you can get angry at the weather here, or the people that don't know how to freaking drive.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it only happened last year. Sorry, your short-term memory's shot, Sparky. So yeah, I get it.
Like I have my license. It's just I just have to actually drive now. But it's called the graduated license, where I'm supposed to take 9 months to figure out how to drive and then take my test. Well, It's been 5 years. It's been almost 10 years since I got my license, and I still haven't gone for that driver's test yet.
You're approaching it cautiously.
Cautiously,
yeah.
I'm still a little hesitant on like learning how to drive fully, because Joe, my God, he drives the bus. He's been a bus driver for 13 years, and that he sees on a daily basis.
I bet.
Like, people will cut off a bus, a 60-foot bus.
Oh yeah. 18-wheelers here in Tennessee, just people going from it. I'm like,
yeah.
And the amount of people that don't pay attention to what they're actually doing, like, people will just cross the street, and with no care in the world, they'll cross with their baby in the carriage.
What?
Busy freaking street.
Yeah, in the middle of the street, and they usually are on their phone, not looking up. Where we used to live, we were in a university town, and I'm not saying they're dumb. University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, but we had people walking into the street, and the way things worked in Illinois was if you were like jaywalking, if you were outside of a crosswalk, if a car hit you, the pedestrian's at fault.
Oh yeah. No.
And that's the way it should be.
Same here in Indiana. So yeah, and I approve of that. It's called thinning the herd.
Okay, well, okay. Okay, as someone who's going to be opposing now, we're going to start the rage in the actual room now.
All right.
Okay, so I don't feel like there's enough crosswalks, and I was a young person who was 18 going on Dum Dum, like a lot of us are at 18, and I crossed a busy 4-lane road where there was no one. And back in the day, my great grandparents, there were no crosswalks, so they taught me to cross when there was no cars, right? This is back when they moved to Massachusetts, so like, when I was not born yet.
Yeah.
Like way back, like 1920, 1930s. And so they taught me this is something you were allowed to do. So I come to Tennessee, and I'm like, my coworkers working at a gas station. Okay. There's McDonald's 4 lanes away. My coworkers are like, really want breakfast? And I'm like, nah, I can do it. It's no big deal. We're like, you don't got a car. How are you going to do it? I'm like, I'll run across the road. They're like, you're going to run across the road? I'm like, yeah, I've seen other people do it. Joe Schmo that we work with had done it the other day. And I'm like, see, nobody's coming. I'm going to go, right? Nobody was coming. Then behind me, in the gas station, again, nobody on the road. A 16-year-old with a lawyer's father, or a father that was a lawyer, rather, decided to come out of the gas station at 35 miles an hour and decided that he was going to be on his phone while he was driving.
Ooh.
And he didn't see me.
Mhm.
And he hit me with the side of his car, and I broke off his side mirror. And his
Good.
father sued my father, even though I had a concussion and a giant ostrich-size bump on the back of my head.
Mhm.
And I flew through the air about 3.5 feet, according
Mhm.
to the reports of people who actually saw me land.
Right.
I would have made it across because I was on the side of the road where the other gas station that he pulled out of, and the McDonald's was. I was about like 12 steps from the edge of the road.
Oh my god.
And this kid was not paying attention, and he wanted out of that gas station. He was like, no, brand new Mustang.
Yeah.
And to every rule, there is an exception. So I will say that.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah.
Wow.
So I think there should be more crosswalks.
I agree. I fully
Because-
agree with you. And
It
educate the
depends
people on how
on-
to use them.
Depends on what kind of city you're living in. My city, there's literally lights on every block, or like street lights.
That's awesome.
And the pain in the ass about it is they're not timed properly. So you know,
Oh.
stop at the red light on one block,
Yeah.
wait,
Yep.
and then go a block, and then stop at the next red light. So you're just constantly stopping and going and stopping and going, and that is ridiculous when it comes to like rush hour.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I live on on one of our the busy highways, just off of one of the busy highways. And why do they allow people to park on highways that are busy?
What? Wait, what?
Yeah. I've seen that.
Like,
Oh, you
okay,
mean like
so-
the 2-lane country highways?
So yeah, we Osborne Street is should be designated as a highway, as far as I'm concerned. There should be no parking on the street, especially during rush hour.
Mm.
But they do.
But they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
So
cats.
I've often thought of writing my city about that and saying, hey, can we get the no parking bans up?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's one thing that annoys me, and it's not the thing itself. We have in Indiana, we have a number of what are called roundabouts. Where it's a circle, and people move in. The people inside the circle have the right of way, and when you see an opening, you move in. You become part of the right of way. There is a street in Indianapolis that I avoid, like it's got cooties, and it's got a roundabout every block. And you get a little speed, 20 miles an hour. Okay, we're gonna really live on the edge and maybe do 21 or 2. Oh, here's the roundabout. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Oh, and then there's a block away. There's another roundabout. I've
been
probably
putting
gone
those
through
up-
96th Street. I probably would have gone through quicker if I'd walked.
Yeah.
So
They've been trying to put those up in my city as well, in the residential areas, just to
Yeah.
keep traffic from speeding through and all that.
it works.
My husband lovingly calls them circle jerks.
That's how I usually refer to the people who put them in.
It works both ways. That's,
Oh yeah, no, but
that's beautiful.
okay, so in my city and in my province, I think it's a province-wide issue. Is people do not know how to drive, period, no matter how clear the weather is.
Mhm.
But people will literally stop on a merge.
Yep.
Ooh.
And it's just like, oh my god, why are we stopping? And then I don't know if the rules are the same down there for driving as it is up here, but people should be turning when they need to turn to the closest lane that is free.
Mhm.
Why do people wait to get to the farthest lane? Meanwhile, the lane that they should be turning into is free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
The only time I do the furthest lane, I'm not gonna lie. The only time I do the furthest lane is when there's nobody behind me. They're either stuck at the light, or it's that time of day, and there's nobody for like 5 cars. Because I don't want to be that person that goes this way and there's a car right behind me all of a sudden. You know, right around the edge only. Okay. I don't understand that either. That causes issues. I will say, as part of the road ragey thing, I have learned to be more chill when it comes to most of the traffic things, because one, I am a neurospicy person and I can get distracted and impatient, and so sometimes I do mistakey things on the road. But I hate being followed. I think it's funny when you say, if you're gonna ride my, pull my hair, give me a date, something, ha ha ha. Okay, that's great. There's only so many times I laugh about that, but from like, if I can see your car, but I can't see the lights, even if it's not nighttime, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do. Okay, I was in an accident last year. You guys know, October. I got sandwiched in my Kia between 2 trucks.
Oh,
that's what happened last October with my wreck.
Wow.
When I lost my car and I lost my job and I lost my vending and everything, I got stuck. One truck shoved me into another truck and they drugged me. Okay. Wow. And I still owe $9,000 for my car and for the hospital bills. Those two together, I still owe $9,000. So if anybody's watching, the guy who owns my car deed, I'm still working on paying that back. But it's gonna take some time because I don't own that car anymore. Somebody auctioned it off or whatever. I don't own that car. But that was because of following too close. That gentleman was too close to the back of my car. There should be enough car lengths away. And if you're in traffic, people are on the TV and the phone, and because they got TVs in the car. So I'm not even going to judge what you're doing. Just pay attention at the same time. I have ADHD. I can do like 5 things at once. Pay attention to the car also, in front of you and in back of you. If you're so close to me that I can smell your coffee, get the back. Get back. Yeah. Get back. It smells good, but get back. Please.
So we have a comment from Keisha. I just want to go to sleep, but I don't want to miss this, so I'm watching while feeding. Aw.
Well, don't let the negativity get to you. We're all giggling.
Yeah. Feel the viciousness.
People feed off negativity, though, but Keisha is our positive reinforcement.
She's hilarious. She really is.
Yeah.
And Donna says, I drive because I had too many years of overcrowded school buses. I'd rather be alone. I understand that. I do. And yes, trust me, me and Joe could probably have our own podcast called Bus Stories.
I don't know why you don't. Know why you don't. That should be a thing right now. It should have been a thing last year already.
Maybe one day we'll do something where we're riding, where we actually do a show while riding buses. So we'll see.
Every week is great.
Oh boy!
She's lucky we don't. She doesn't have buses where she lives.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the bus stories are a different breed of rage, and right now we're dealing with, I'm again, it's probably the same in your guys' city, where people are going into businesses and stealing, and it's an unfortunate epidemic everywhere where theft has risen. In my city, unfortunately, we're told don't engage with certain people. Otherwise, they could harm us. There's been attacks on our buses. There's been attacks all over our city, and not just on the bus. We've had a police officer get stabbed in the neck.
Wow.
And it's every time I go to the Winnipeg police page, it's always something like random attack, or someone getting arrested for going into a business and stealing stuff. And so here, when some people get on our buses and demand a free ride, and they'll sleep on the buses. Bus drivers will just allow it because they don't want to engage it, just in case that these people are violent, which I understand. Unfortunately, we've had a bus driver that was murdered a couple of years ago, stabbed, because he tried to wake a guy up and tell him to get out of his bus.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That is awful.
It is.
I shouldn't say this, like, at least it was just one bus driver that was stabbed so far.
Man.
But we've been asking for the Winnipeg police to, at least have a police officer on on the busiest areas of our city to come along for rides. We've had a couple instances where our buses were hijacked.
Oh my goodness.
Our city refuses to put even security guards on our buses.
Oh man.
And I can't wait to clip this and send it to hey, City of Winnipeg. Remember when there was a murder on our buses? Remember when a couple of our bus drivers were hijacked? Yeah, we need security. We need police officers on our bus now.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's terrifying. I mean, the amount of, I will say, something that enrages people, which this is, I guess, could be rage bait, is how we feel about homeless people. In our area, it has become a complaint of seeing more homeless people, because not only have more people moved here from Florida and New York and Michigan and Buffalo and just anywhere you can imagine right now, because they think they have this delusion that Tennessee was this like land of fruit and milk and honey and was just gonna all somehow work out special for them. And like, guys, this is the Hollywood, Hollywood of the South. It does not. There's no yellow brick road. There's no white picket fences. It's whatever you can earn, like any other place in America. And it also depends on your community and the people around you. And we don't have. I don't know that if we have. I really don't know if we have a homeless shelter in this town. But I know that we have a lot of homeless now. And there's got to be something that's done about it, instead of just raging or getting angry that people are homeless. Do I feel weird about people not working, as I have not worked sometimes, and being given things? I don't know if they're doing something. There's some of them were playing music, and there was such a complaint about the music that these people were forced to stop playing music for money. I remember when this was okay. And beautiful music, not awful music.
See, I love the buskers. I absolutely love buskers. I will stop, listen to them playing their music. We have one guy. So we have what my loving husband refers to as the hamster areas. We have skywalks downtown, going from one building to the next, and it's a great escape in the cold. So we have one guy every so often that puts on a horse's head mask and plays the guitar. And
nice!
So that's fun.
He just randomly appears every so often in different parts of downtown, but his main thing is being in the skywalk. And but yeah, there was one guy that was selling his CDs out of his guitar cases. And I'm just like, dude, this is like, I put up a link, like I asked him if it was okay to record him, and I shared it on my socials because I'm just like, this guy is amazing. I've seen him a couple times, and but yeah, I have no problems with giving money to buskers. I appreciate those guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've done that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is breaking in vehicles. That's the other. You know, you were talking about, you know, criminal cases or things like that. You know, thievery or violence. You know,
I live across
increasing.
from a thief. Yes.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. Well, yeah. But
He stole, like, I have iron gates, and he stole the doors off my gate one time.
Wow.
And pawned it off at the antique store down the street.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I found it because I messaged all the pawn shops and all the antique stores in Winnipeg to see where, if they ended up at any of those shops, and the guy only got $30 for them, and I'm just like, seriously, like,
No, it wasn't worth it. That wasn't
No.
worth it. Was it
No.
really worth it?
no, the gates have been up since the 60s.
Yeah.
My husband's grandfather put them up.
Wow. Of course, then again, you know, one of the major problems with a lot of homeless people is mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, yeah.
you know,
If that
or
was addressed.
drug addiction, something like that. You know, where, you know, $30 may be just what they need to get them through the night.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
or they may be impaired in a way that, you know, they can't make a good decision, which would be don't take the gate in the first place. But
Oh yeah, like I'm fairly certain he has he has some kind of addiction. I'm also convinced that he's also a meth head. And
Well,
I'm
that is a
because
crazy addiction.
we've had or at least like someone who lives with him provides him with drugs. We've had the police go raid the house. And I actually have that on video. I'm pretty sure he got tased and he was like carried out. And this actually, it should be I think it's the anniversary coming up on that video.
are you going to celebrate by turning them in again? You know, maybe get some more footage or something?
No, you need to keep the blackmail, because if anything ever happens to your gate again, you'll be like, I got a video of you. You want it on TikTok?
When I should actually when they were stolen, I did contact the local news agencies and say, hey, is there a way that I can go? I know it seems weird to talk about stolen gates on the news, but and then I ended up getting them back. I'm like, do you guys still want to do this news story? Because I got them back. And they're like, yeah. So I was on the news talking about getting my gates back.
Well, that's at least you got them back, though.
Yeah, happy ending.
I wasn't going to rest until those things came back because I was miffed. It's like, who the hell steals gates?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know I know it's a vintage thing, vintage aesthetic, but at the same time, you know, that's like the dumbest thing to steal from anyone.
Yeah, but
again, you put it in your back pocket or something. So,
how do you get them there?
Oh, those things are freaking heavy.
Did you take a truck?
I'm guessing so. Because those things, like, I cannot carry, I can barely carry one, never mind carrying two down the street.
So he had to put some of that money into gas, is what you're saying.
Probably.
Some of the $30. Yeah.
Or he probably had an accomplice, you know, he paid him $29.
Right? Yeah. Definitely not worth it. Definitely not worth it.
Crime doesn't pay. Stay in school, kids.
It really doesn't pay. It really doesn't. The pawn shops will like rip you off.
Right.
Don't do drugs, kids, because drugs make you do stupid shit.
Right. And keep you
Be
poor.
like me. I do stupid shit organically.
Right? All the good ones are expensive. Don't do drugs.
Weed is
Save
where
it-
I stop. Weed
save it
and
up.
some
You might,
alcohol.
save it up. You might need it for your cancer treatments. Like,
There you go. There you
maybe
go.
not spend it on that. Healthcare could be your drug. Let your mental health and taking care of that be your drug. That would be great if we could do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because it costs as much.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, because that's also another reason why prices are we're being told because of all the theft going on,
Mhm.
prices are going up to make up for the amount of product that is going missing. But that why is okay? I hate being charged a restocking fee for items that I buy. Why are we being charged that restocking fee when it's up to the company themselves to restock their items? I don't know.
I can answer part of that.
Okay,
Because
I want to hear this.
Okay, because I've worked a number of jobs in my life, and living in a university town as I did, I used to work in a big box office supply store. That's all I will say about it. And we had like a whole bunch of students at the start of the semester buy laptops with their mom and dad's money. And then at the end of the semester, after they typed all their papers and everything, they bring them, because the store had a very, very liberal return policy. They bring them back after the return papers were written, which might be like 30 or 60 days after that, and get a refund on the laptop. And the reason we knew this because our IT guy would always check the drive, and there are all these term papers on all of these computers.
Mhm.
So the restocking fee was that, okay, you think you're going to get a free computer. We're going to get at least a little something for it. Now, I agree with you, Willow, about all items in a store having a restock fee. I think that is a bit onerous, but for something like electronics, that I understand.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I'm okay with being charged certain things for like taxes.
Yeah.
And especially right now, my liberal government, God bless them, decided to do a GST free holiday for a couple months. We don't have to pay the GST on anything. Yay!
yeah.
Awesome. And some people who own businesses are a little uptight about it because it's like, oh great, now I have to change all my computer systems but I'm sorry that there's certain things that we pay through the freaking nose because of taxes. We're like Manitoba is being like triple taxed on everything. We have the GST, we have a PST, which is something that like provincial sales tax, which shouldn't be in existence, but was brought in the 90s because our liberal government love to bring up new taxes. Which, okay, yes, the conservatives want to try to get rid of taxes, but then they bring in their own stuff. So that's a whole nother argument for another time.
Yeah.
But the provincial sales tax should have been wiped from our lives like 30 years ago. But
where did the money for that go? The provincial food tax?
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember what it was for, why it was brought in. I'll Google it in a moment, but the reasons for it, I think it was to help bring down the budget. But
yeah. When I was living in Illinois, we had something like that too. It was a temporary tax, and it was to bring down the deficit of what the state of Illinois owed various like educational institutions and hospitals. It was only supposed to be around for about 5 years. And we're talking about debts that go back into the 80s. And then when this tax deadline was coming up, when they'd have to take it off the books, suddenly all of the politicians in the state were like, oh, but look at the starving children. Look at the people that won't get school lunches if we do. It's like that had nothing to do with that particular tax.
Yeah.
You're just playing on the emotions of the populace and hope they don't have a good enough memory to remember that you said this was temporary. And so before I moved out, they voted that tax to be permanent. So
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And what was their excuse?
That the kids would starve, that schools would suffer, that dogs and cats were living together, that sort of thing. So all the good reasons.
Oh
But
my
meanwhile,
God.
they're either closing schools or getting rid of lowering the budget on schools.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So I wanted to mention something. I don't know if either of you have watched it, but I have not. But according to Wikipedia, which I do donate to, the 2020 Netflix docudrama "The Social Dilemma" is a show that analyzed the intentional profitization of manipulating people through the internet with conspiracy theories, misinformation, promoting problematic social media use, and things like that. So have you seen this yet? The Social Dilemma? It was 4 years ago, and I've never seen it, and I want to see it now.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I have not seen it though.
But
Because
yes,
I don't get into streaming services. So.
yeah, but I thank you for bringing up the real reason why we're talking about rage bait. An hour into
Can we
the
get back
show.
to it, kid?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
rage baiting is like a manipulative way to,
Oh, yeah.
to garner likes and shares on your posts and stuff. And without it, sometimes I do rage baiting without realizing what I'm doing, because I'll look on threads and I'll have like a whole conversation happening. It's like, oh, oops.
Yeah. And I didn't know that there was something as simple as, like I was talking about makeup, like women wearing makeup improperly was one of the things. Adding S's where they shouldn't be, adding punctuation, intentionally. Yeah, things like that. As small as that.
Yeah.
Are just to get people drawn in. For the record, if I ever misspell something, it's not to make anybody rage. It's because I'm too fast with everything and I want it done now. So my has and have turn into whatever. Sometimes I am one of those people that I will answer with emojis because there's so much that I gotta just make it smaller. Okay, I'm trying to make it less and not a paragraph or a book like trying to say hi or I'm having a bad day. So I'm just small.
Smartphones aren't as smart as we say they are, because I get whenever I'm texting someone or trying to post something on social media, autocorrect often misspells words.
Yeah.
Or puts something in place of a word that I meant. That I'm like, that's not what I was going to write at all.
I was doing that before autocorrect. In fact, I'm still living down something from about 30 years ago. My wife and I were helping write this gaming system that we were going to put in, and I was doing a chapter on game etiquette, like pay for the pizza, show up on time if not early, get your conversation before the game starts, that sort of thing. And I had a section in there about, like, if you were planning something with your character that could change the course of the campaign itself or affect another player in a potentially negative way, you should warn the GM. Note the emphasis on the word warn. Well, the M and the N are right next to each other. And so, using a typewriter dates me too. I started my friends were greatly amused to see that I put that you need to warm the GM.
You need to warm.
Nice.
You need to warm the GM. Yep. I'm still living that down.
So alcohol of choice.
I know.
Oh, we got some curious DMs like, wait, can we put that in the rules?
Yeah. Hey, if I thought I could get some action that way, I'd run a game. Anyway.
Wait, how many lives do I get?
Yeah, I got 5.5 pounds of dice in my room just waiting to be used. So.
Do I get unlimited potential and extra skills?
Does that count towards the critical hit or not?
It's kind of a min-maxing sort of thing.
No, wait. No, that's just for the DM's girlfriend. That's how that works. Wasn't that the rule back then? You're like, how did she get that? Oh, yeah.
I had friends that were actually like, they were doing the wild thing off set, and as their characters, and they were begging the GM to be allowed to get experience points for it. And I'm like, one, I don't want to hear about it. Okay, one, I mean, I'm a fairly libertine type of person, but this is like crossing several lines that don't need to be crossed. And secondly, oh hell no. So, yeah.
No.
Nope, not one bit. Nope.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't care what you do. It just keep it to your own damn self. I don't care, as long as you don't scare the children or the livestock. I don't care what you do.
So, okay, I'm looking at the time, and it's been over an hour. Okay, so in the future, I know we're not going to be able to avoid, getting into any angry conversations. But how have you guys been trying to stay away from using like the big buzzwords that are popular right now? I've been there are certain words that I know that people use to push people's buttons, and I hate the word woke. I absolutely hate the word woke. I hate being having that thrown in my face as I'm like, yeah, I'm liberal. Yes, but when it comes to Canadians, and it's like, oh, you are a liberal, and as soon as someone mentions liberal, it's like right away goes into Trudeau and his wokeness, and it's like, look, yes, I'm liberal, but that doesn't mean I voted for the guy.
Right. You don't get to lay all of the things at my doorstep because you think I did something I didn't do. Yeah. And yes, so the buzzword things and staying away from the rage baiting, that is something that is hard to do when they keep changing. So when the election happened here in America, I didn't mention the word election. I didn't mention the word president. I didn't mention the word politics. I didn't mention liberal or Democrat or Republican or any of those things. I just talked about how if people were, doing the munchies and junk food and doom scrolling with some blankets and feeling like crap and worried nothing was going to get better, then here was some hugs. And even that was inflammatory. I didn't even have to explain to people what's going on. I had people literally angry calling me going, what is going on? And I'm like, I've been giving hugs.
Yeah.
Why are you mad? What? So it really doesn't matter. The rage bait depends on the person. So I will say that, Willow, in terms, I think you should make this a revisiting content moment. I feel like this should be a series that you continue later on when someone's like, I'd like to talk about this part of it, because we didn't even get to the mental health aspect or the obsession with people following the rage bait, because trolls have become a thing of popularity and a way to get attention and followers, but they don't care the cost of their own mental health or how it makes other people feel. We have a hate page for our town. And I talked just this month on the good page about how it's so negative, even on the good page. People are just like, people ask a question and they're like, why don't you Google it, smarty pants? And I'm like,
I know.
They could have Googled it, but they thought maybe you might have some freaking information.
Yeah.
And is it bad to ask a question of a human rather than an AI or the Google search? Like maybe they're trusting the human over the search, and so it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You can try to avoid the rage and avoid being the bait, And then you could still do nothing wrong in that moment. So avoiding it can almost seem like you're tripping more into it, or like you feel like you're having to walk on eggshells, and you automatically yourself feel kind of ragey a little bit because you're like, why do I have to super like filter myself? But so there's like a medium, guys. We can a happy medium to everything. There's balance. I believe with kindred spirits comes a sense of a desire for balance, peace. Yes, but we all see peace as a different thing. So how about balance? Everybody's balance is, whatever that positivity is. Can we agree on some form of that? Do you just keep it at an even keel? Ship terms. Like, can we try to keep a little level? I had a few. I had a few, but I stopped halfway. I know moderation, man. Try to be a little less ragey and maybe a little less falling for the baby.
I know it's going to be really hard because, like, I pay attention to your guys' politics, and as much as, and I love it when people are like to Justin Trudeau is like, oh, I wish that you would be our president. I'm just like, you guys had your chance. You guys
blew that one.
I mean, you guys could have voted for Sanders, and when he was running for president, you guys could have, now you guys could have had Kamala, I don't know.
Yeah. We are waiting for the great turnaround, and right now, like on TikTok, what is trending is FAFO.
Yeah.
And being a fan of Schadenfreude, and as much as I am, I'm enjoying that far too much. I getting what you're saying, I totally get that, because I learned about the Project 2025 and the Agenda 47 stuff, and so I started posting. Y'all need to look at this stuff. Make yourself, a more informed voter. Okay. Don't listen, the stuff you listen to normally, maybe go listen to the other side and see if you can glean some information. And oh boy, you'd have thought I had collectively insulted their moms. And I was spending far too much time trying to say, okay, here's I'm an old journalist. I source stuff. Here's the newspaper article. Oh yeah, well, everybody knows that that newspaper, fill in the blank, or that website, fill in the blank, is in the pockets of the the big business people, and all the invisible enemies of this world. And that was one of the things that disturbed me about this last election so much, that so much was based on fear, so much hate. I'll throw Springfield, Ohio in as an example, where that was just like, it was just like catastrophic. And then you have the candidates who don't want to be fact checked. In fact, one of them came out and said, we make up stuff just to bring up things we wish to discuss, even if it's wrong. But I found myself pulling away from social media a lot, and I admit that I have left Twitter. I don't care what you call it X all you want. You're dumb.
Yeah.
And I'll go on the record as saying that. I'll stand on that. And I went to Blue Sky. It's a lot more even keeled over there. And the one you mentioned earlier, Willow, I go on there.
Threads,
thank you. I go on there occasionally. I find that a lot more balanced too. And I'm not looking for an echo chamber. I'm looking for a balance. I do want to hear what the other side is saying. I just want less of the hyperbole. And I blame a lot of this on the news media.
Yeah.
There's been yellow journalism for more than a century, at least here in America, and I know in England. But nowadays I see a lot of the news media looking as they're as related to the news as the WWE is to Olympic level sports competition. Mm-hmm. It's entertainment. It's news as entertainment. And, so much of what you see is almost constructed like fiction, where you have a protagonist and an antagonist. You have the challenge, but what you don't have is a freaking end to the story, or a redemption arc, or any of the things that you would tune into a TV show and hope to find in a good story. This is more like the song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friends. There's just no ending to it. My friends likened it to professional wrestling, and it's the same thing. The things never reach a resolution. It just segues into the next complication, and
It's
and
interesting that our president has been, our president now has been in wrestling. So
yeah, exactly.
interesting that you make that comment there. Just something that came to my mind. It was just
I appreciate that too. It's a good point. But
the circus here.
Yeah, it is, and it's meant to exhaust us. It is meant to wear us down mentally and psychically, so that and I don't want to sound like everything's a big conspiracy, even though I make my stock and trade by writing about it. Hashtag always promote. But the thing is, it's in the interest of the people that are in charge that we be docile. It is in their interest that we be sedated, and that's why this whole year has been like wear everyone down, exhaust everybody to the point where they either tune out or they're just too tired to fight back because they don't see a way to fight back.
Yeah.
And that's why we've got, a certain amount of resistance here in this country now that's moving forward. And part of that is the FAFO, where people are finding out now that there are, you don't do some of this stuff and not expect some sort of consequence.
Yeah.
And, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that in the future. Hopefully, though, we can all keep our heads about us and just know when to pull back and know when to engage again. So,
yeah.
Bread and circus is like Carl says down there. Yes, that's very true, Carl. Very true.
And I'm hoping in the new year I can focus on promoting the convention that I'm
What
planning.
convention is that, Willow?
Yes, let's promote KeyCon.
Hashtag always
Coming up in May long weekend for us, May 16th and 18th, 2025. If you guys do decide to come up to Winnipeg for that, you will get a chance to meet Jim Butcher.
Ooh.
Author of the Dresden Files.
Good writer.
So
I would love to.
I will hopefully be able to interview him prior to KeyCon, but come join us. It's at a hotel, and it'll be like a vacation for nerds.
I'm sure you'll have more information on that.
Yes. I've already been to a convention with Johnny. I would love to be at a convention with you, though. Will. Really way.
Come
on.
on.
You have to crash somewhere, though.
We're at a hotel. You can stay at the hotel. There will be a hotel. If you go on keycon.org, you'll be able to see how like the memberships and how much it all costs. But yes, we will be doing opening up the hotel block, or it should be open now. Actually, I'm fairly certain it's open now. So yeah, keycon.org.
Nice.
So make sure that you guys check it out, and I'm going to be a con chair.
Yay!
So yeah, sci-fi. It'll be fun.
I love sci-fi. Yes.
We're celebrating all kinds of cool sci-fi shows and movies, and can you believe that we're celebrating the anniversaries of certain sci-fi shows like Sliders already? It'll be like
Sliders.
Yeah, it'll be like 30 years for Sliders next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
One of my favorites. Yes.
Oh, I can't say anything. I'm watching for the first time ever, and I know this is gonna like partially revoke my geek card for people, but I don't care. Okay, we can't watch every show every time it comes out, but I am watching for the first time Deep Space Nine all the way through from start to finish. I just finished all of the Star Trek episodes, and I am now like watching as one of our favorite engineer redheads runs around fixing the Deep Space Nine station, and I'm like, what is gonna happen? So like, so yeah, so I was a sci-fi nerd when I was a kid, when I was still reading those, those choose your own adventure novels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then wow, my brain is
Twilight Zone?
oh no, Twilight Zone. Yes, thank you. Oh yes. So besides the Dresden gentleman, are you gonna have more
We have a
guests
couple.
on your way?
Yes, we have one of my good friends, Evan Quering, is who's an artist. He actually he's going to be doing our art for our book this year, and he has a comic out. He has a couple of comics out, but one of them is like a luchador comics. So
Oh,
Nice.
fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, you'll have to share that with us.
And
Like,
we have I'm trying to find the
many guests, right?
actually, yeah, we have quite a few guests, but one guy is also YouTube personality. Yeah.
Ooh, you got a YouTube star coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you guys, again, keycon.org, make sure that you guys look that up. And yeah, for some reason, I'm not seeing the post of the banner for our guests, but I'll make sure that I'll share that to my pages and make sure that you guys see what's all up. So yeah, keycon.org, you guys will see all the guests, and can't wait to see you guys if you guys do come up.
If I can save up for it, I would love to. No joke.
And Brian, I'm gonna put your name in the hat for future appearances at KeyCon, because we need you up here.
Ooh, I would love to. I've been in Canada for exactly 120 minutes.
Oh,
Because my wife being from Buffalo, we're right across from we're close to Niagara Falls. She took me there when we were engaged, and to see both sides of the falls.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would love to. I could be had cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, you guys go ahead and promote yourselves. Brian, yeah, I know you have a couple books out, so
Unaccustomed as I am, yes. Brian K. Morris, publisher, editor, writer, broadcaster, and former mortician's assistant. Check me out at risingtide.pub on the interwebs. I'm also on TikTok, most social media as Brian K. Morris. Otherwise, I'd never remember it. But anyway, my two most recent books are The Terrors. If you like superhero World War II action, yes, he looks familiar. It's not what you think. Check this out. It's a great adventure book. And also my newest book is Quest for the Delphi Oculus from Flinch Books, about a disgraced journalist who finds an alien artifact that is being the subject of inquiry from a possible new world order. It's, if you like Ian Fleming and The Prisoner, you'll like this book. And otherwise, I can be seen on all manner of programs such as this show. And I've had a wonderful time, Willow. Thank you for having me. I'd love to come back sometime.
Oh, no problem. I would love to have you on.
I'd love to be had.
Aubrey, where can we find what do you have going for the next couple weeks leading up, or even into the new year? What do you have planned?
Well, I'm supposed to be showing up for some little holiday events in costume. Hopefully, I will have some more requests coming up. A little bit of face painting, some more podcasts, hopefully. Doing a few things here and there. And then, of course, the new year and back on the other ones. And I'm supposed to be working on something to show up new next year under me being a lead host. So,
yay! And where can we find you on social media?
oh, you can find me oh wow, I did that so fast. On my Instagram at Miss Kindred Ivy. And that's pretty much where I am most of the time. You can't find me on Facebook, but you got to search for me. So see you in the
Excellent.
YouTubes and podcasts. Thank you for having me, Willow.
No problem. All right, and you guys can find me all over social media. I try to be the social media socialite. I'm not sure if we'll be doing another show from here until or around Christmas time, but we'll see. Maybe. But I will try in the future to be a little bit more plan wise, plan a little bit better scheduling for these shows. But we'll see. Sometimes I just get ideas and say, hey, let's do a show on something. But yeah, Geeky Discoveries, you can find it on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to try to put this episode up on Twitch and on other social media stuff. So yeah, I'm on Threads. You can just search up Willow Skylar. All right, you guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Sorry about the randomness of doing the episode.
No, it was great.
I appreciate you guys coming last minute. You guys are amazing. Thank you to those of you in the chat who are tuning in, and always, you guys can always comment, like, share. I try to respond as much as possible to everything. Thank you very much, Donna. I appreciate you. So yeah, you guys have a great night. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And
happy Yule.
If I don't see you before Christmas, I'll try to see you guys after Christmas.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
You too. Bye.